Hey everybody, Sarah Jane. I'm looking more than a little bedraggled this morning. I'm not really in that much pain, but I am doing that, and I'm sleeping weirdness, and I'm hungry, but I'm not hungry. So, unfortunately, this me is the best I can offer you right now. Before I get lots of questions, the Boston Celtics shirt, I've had it since I was like 12, and it's been washed so many times. It's like the most comfortable thing that I have in my closet. So I'm not a particularly huge Boston Celtics fan. I just love the shirt, so that is why I wear it. I wore it in the hospital because it's a comfort thing. Okay, so I've been asked to do a video about what it was like to be in the hospital, and I apologize ahead of time. I'm trying to do my protein breakfast while I do this, so, bottoms up. Okay, hospital. I was scheduled to be there at 5:30 in the morning. Got there a few minutes early because that is the nature of me. Had to wait for 5:30. And then really super simple admissions for me. Like, they had told me to bring ID and my insurance card, but they didn't even check it. They just accepted that I was who I was and brought me back. So they brought me back, and they told me that my surgery was scheduled for 7 a.m. So they had me pee in a cup. I didn't know that ahead of time, so for those of you who have it coming, be prepared, because I took care of things before I left the house that morning, thinking, here I was going for surgery. So be prepared to pee in a cup. For women, pregnancy test. They may have a reason to test men too, I don't really know, but for us, gotta make sure we're not pregnant. Okay, so then they had me get into lovely hospital jobby, and they had me sit in the bed, but they gave me my Lovenox shot, and what it felt like was this horrible bee sting. Like, it wasn't, bee sting is painful, but it wasn't like agonizing pain, but it just made me not want to sit up straight. We kind of want to lean back, and they were like, well, you don't look comfortable, so we're going to have you lay down on the bed, which was fine by me. And they came in, they had a whole series of questions to ask me, just generic health stuff. You smoke, drink, can I confirm, what my weight was, that kind of stuff. And they checked my pulse and my blood pressure, and then they put in 2 IVs. And I have a picture, which if I can get it off my camera phone, I will insert it here. If not, I'll just tell you about it. And 1 IV here, and 1 IV here. My husband, just to make this video a little more fun, my husband sat there and watched me have this done. And when it was done, he got up from the side of the bed where he was, and he almost fell flat on the floor. He had turned completely white. He was going to pass out, and so they had to have nurses come over and take care of my husband. And it was simple. They gave him juice and cheered him up a little bit. But yeah, my husband almost passed out watching me get my IVs. So the good thing about that was it made the time go much faster, waiting for my surgery. So when it was time for my surgery, they had my husband take all of my stuff with him. And I know they said they were going to show him to where to wait for me. I don't really know, because they took me on my little bed. And my surgeon was Dr. Elmer Vallon at St. Raphael's in New Haven. And he apparently has a really good reputation, because every single person I talked to while I was there was like, you're lucky to have Dr. Vallon. He is really good. So I assume a nurse. It could have been a doctor. I don't really know. Someone came out and was talking to me and wheeled me back. And then they had me climb from the hospital bed that they had me on onto the operating table, which was very awkward, but not bad, just awkward. And that's really the last thing I remember. Like, I remember my doctor coming into the room, but after that I don't remember any things on my face. I don't remember counting down. I don't remember anything. Next thing I knew, I woke up in recovery. I think I asked like 4 people if I was open or laparoscopic, but I couldn't remember the answer. So I woke up in recovery, and I need you to pause for 1 second. All right, sorry about that. Real life. So anyway, I woke up in recovery and kind of remember asking them questions. But the first thing I really remember is my husband petting my head. He's good. He just sort of pets my head. And so I got the answer and was able to remember it from him that yes, I did have a laparoscopic surgery. Didn't have to go open, which was like my big concern. And so I know I hung out in recovery for a little while longer, but not that much. And then I had an arterial line put in to monitor my heartbeat during surgery. And I'm so bad at the camera. This is the wrist that they tried to get it in. It's getting better. And they didn't. There's like 10 attempts in this wrist. This is the wrist that they did get it in. And there's 1 attempt here. So clearly somebody who didn't really know what they were doing, somebody took over. So, it wasn't the end of the world. But this had like a big, nasty, sticky, holding it out. And this just had a Band-Aid. But this had big, nasty, sticky stuff. And so like my arm was covered in grossness. But, whatever. It's over now. So, so then they took me up to my room, and I don't honestly really remember being wheeled up to my room, but I remember getting there because I had the noisiest freaking roommate. This woman just went on and on and on and like moaned and groaned, and she had guests come in. When her guests came in, there was no moaning and groaning. She was perfectly fine and laughing and being loud, and they wanted to discharge her, but she didn't want to be discharged. And they said, well, you have to eat something before you can be discharged. And she said, I don't like any of the food here, so I'm not going to eat anything, so you can't discharge me. And I was just like, please, just discharge this lady, because she's so loud and I need to get some sleep. So she was around for a couple hours, and then they discharged her. And I apologize when I sit back. It's just the hell's in my stomach. They discharged her, and things got much better. I was told that I probably would get another roommate. I did not. Bonus. I couldn't have been out of recovery more than an hour or two when I was up walking, peeing on my own. Not a problem. I may have a pretty high threshold for pain. I don't really know, but I was doing pretty okay. Visiting hours were till 8. They let my husband stay till 8:30 because I didn't have a roommate, and because I had a little freak out. I was crying and said, I've been in a hospital and I'm scared and my husband's gonna leave. So, they let me keep him a little bit longer. So that was pretty much day 1. I was up and I was walking, and I had to pee a little cup bucket thing in the bathroom, and I didn't like that. They had me on morphine, and I guess I sort of liked that, but I felt like it was making me nauseous, so I had them cut my dose down. And that was day 1. And I'm going to take a break and drink some of this yummy protein shake, and then I want to come back and tell you what's been happening since then.